More delays, more broken promises, and even execs that admitted that they fucked up. Will anything ever change? The gaming industry is truly out of control, and there seems to be no end to the complete chaos that is causing innocent consumers to just hate themselves on a daily basis. How dare they make decisions without consulting millions of users and seeing if it's okay first?
Here we go!
I guess we should start out today's show with the news that the newest South Park game, The Fractured Asshole, has officially been delayed until Q1, that's quarter one in industry speak, 2017. I guess we should also explain that at this point, it's pretty much tradition for a South Park game to be delayed.
Catch your breath.
If it had actually been released on the day it was scheduled for, then you would know something's up. If you remember correctly, their first addition to the modern gaming landscape, The Stick of Truth, was delayed 3 times before it was finally released in March of 2014.
Now you can catch your breath. I'll talk. But at least when it comes to a South Park game, you can at least rest easy knowing that Trey Parker and Matt Stone aren't just filling everyone's heads with empty promises or lying about features they never intended to put into games like some developers out there.
Yeah, and if you believe that, I got a big floppy wiener to dangle in your face.
Everything they put out, whether it's a show, a movie, a Broadway musical, or in this case, a video game, it has to meet their exceptionally high standards and be the best version possible. So no, this one game delay that doesn't really have us worried. It doesn't even piss us off because we all know they're not just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. They're making a hilarious game that allows you to feel like you're actually playing in an episode of South Park. And in the meantime, we have the whole new season of South Park to watch while we wait, and it's already started off great, so guys, just fucking calm down, okay?
But a game that we can feel great talking shit about for its delays is none other than The Last Guardian.
Triggered!
Which is considered to be a spiritual successor to Shadow of the Colossus and is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And we know all about delays for a PS4 exclusive, right? Sean Murray.
Wow, we actually said his name that time.
One man's lie! But yeah, this isn't just some small delay. This game feels like it's been in development for almost as long as that fucking Duke Nukem game. In fact, when this game first entered development, George W. Bush was still president.
Imagine that.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, now sure, this is one of those games where even us mentioning it will piss off hardcore fanboys, but last time we checked, we didn't give a shit.
Nope.
There are tons of reasons that you shouldn't stick yourself into development hell for the better part of a decade because usually it's not fucking worth it and all you're doing is building up hype in people's heads to a level that will never be achieved by whatever you're producing. Remember when Dr. Dre took over a decade to release the follow-up to Chronic 2001? Remember when the previously mentioned game Duke Nukem was in development for well over a decade? Hell, even Frank Ocean's album. Okay. Frank Ocean's album is pretty dope. That's a bad example. What we're saying here is, for most games, delays are inevitable. But when your shit is in development for a console that will have gone through 2 full cycles by the time it's released, something is fucked.
Anyways, Last Guardian, which looks like Never-Ending Story, the game. You hang out with some big, stupid-looking bird dog thing. It's been delayed until December 6th. Fingers crossed for that one.
Uh-oh.
It was originally supposed to drop next month, October. Wait. Okay, when we say originally, let's take it back. That was the confirmed date. If you want to get nitpicky, it was originally supposed to be released in 2011, when a lot of you were still babies, in diapers. So whatever, here's the excuse from some guy at Sony with, his name is Shuhei Yoshida.
Whoever that is.
Yeah. A delay is a difficult decision, particularly with this game. But we have encountered more bugs than anticipated while in the final stages of development. To ensure that The Last Guardian delivers on the experience that the game's creators have envisioned, we need to take the extra time to work on those issues.
And there were many issues, especially in the game's playable demo at E3 this year, which included the camera that follows the character just being plain garbage and making things nearly impossible to work around. Then, even recently, some people got their hands on the game to fuck around with it. And guess what? Surprise! A lot of the same complaints. When it comes down to it, it's really just sure, it's a pretty puzzle game, and sure, the dog's feathers look cool, like flapping in the wind or whatever. But almost 10 years for dog feathers and some puzzles whose main challenge is being able to accurately see what your character's doing? These devs must have balls of steel!
I've got balls of steel. Balls.
To think that anyone but hardcore fangirls are gonna pay full price for this game.
But speaking of shit that was delayed and Sony, too. The Last Guardian isn't the only game that Shuhei Yoshida is apologizing for this week. And with the way a lot of their games are going, and with the new PSVR system coming out, we're sure that his apology tour will be quite frequent. But for now, he's apologizing for one of T.U.G.S' favorite punching bags, No Man's Sky. Or One Man's Lie, as I like. But when speaking with Eurogamer recently during the Tokyo Game Show, he had this to say. I had the opportunity to play the game right before launch, and I restarted playing the game on launch day with the day one patch, so I could see the struggle for the developers to get the game out in the state that they wanted.
He continued, I understand some of the criticisms, especially Sean Murray is getting. Wow, he fucking called him out. Because he sounded like he was promising more features in the game from day one. This is a lot of shade. Yeah.
He caused Shuhei here to lose a lot of face.
And a lot of honor. He dishonored him.
If this were a different century, Sean Murray would have had to commit kirikiri.
Yeah. Anyways, he continued further. It wasn't a great PR strategy. Jesus Christ. It's like the amount of shade this guy is throwing is like when those...
Shade. Shade.
That's the new one. It's like the UFOs coming in on Independence Day.
Yeah.
Oh, God. He's talking. Anyways, he didn't have a PR person helping him, and in the end, he's an indie developer. But he says their plan is to continue to develop No Man's Sky's features and such, and I'm looking forward to continuing to play the game. Now, you can safely imply that the I'm looking forward to continuing to play the game part
let me know when you're done with it.
Yeah, he probably said that while he stared deeply into Sean Murray's eyes from across the world and burned right into his soul with a flame that screamed, fix the fucking game so people stop asking me about it, and also so they stop negatively associating it with our brand, you indie dev.
So anyway, we're eagerly awaiting the surprise announcement that it'll be available for PSVR at some point, which would make it maybe worth the purchase price, even in its current state. Oh, I'm in space, and it's all around me. Then again, Elite Dangerous exists, so whatever. It's not all bad for Sony, though. They actually did a huge update for the PS4 this week, and with that came some much-needed features like folders.
Yeah.
Such a simple organizational concept, yet for some reason it took until now to implement them. Also, I think that HDR thing was in there too, but our TVs suck and we don't care enough about it to actually look into it or talk about it.
Exactly. Now, over in our games that are actually still impressing us section, we have Battlefield 1. And now that the dust has settled on the open beta, they've shared some pretty impressive stats with everyone, so let's just jerk their dick for a little bit, because EA is another company in desperate need of a handjob. They need quick release right now. First of all, Battlefield 1 was the biggest open beta in EA's history with 13.2 million total players. They also broke down a lot more of their data and showed stats that showed off which classes people preferred. And no surprise here, because the Assault class and those fucking goddamn snipers were the most utilized during the beta.
Nerf it!
Yeah.
So the most interesting stat here is that there were 62.2 million kills. That's more people than there are in the world.
Yeah.
And that's just while riding a horsey. Which is ridiculous, because one of the biggest complaints during the beta was that the horsies were too damn overpowered.
I remember hitting one of the horsies with an armored car at full speed, and it was like I ran into a brick wall. It was fucking ridiculous. All these methed out Battlefield horses need a one-way ticket to the glue factory.
Yeah.
And these stats from EA prove it.
But you know who else has a face like a horse, is constantly on meth, and sniffs glue right before we film? The man, the myth, the horse, the legend, Shibby, and he's here to review a game about a protagonist and their pet, but it's not Last Guardian, but it's the same thing. Take it away, Shib.
This looks goddamn ridiculous.
You're the people's champ.
Oh, now you think you're concerned about your looks now?
Put it back on.
Can't see shit. I'm back, just like Hillary out the hospital.
Wow.
This week I'm reviewing one of the biggest letdowns of the year, ReCore. This action-adventure platformer, published by Microsoft Studios, unlike iDubbbz Roasting Leafy, lacks content and chins. Sure, it may incorporate a nostalgia boner bursting mechanics from Mega Man and Metroid, but in this dull world is pointless, much like our current contender for the T.U.G.S most returned game of 2016, No Man's Lie. Quantity is not better than quality. Quality. What the fuck am I saying?
Yeah, what are you saying?
I don't know.
Continue.
Anyways, ReCore is simply layers of grind and busy work to collect cores, which opens up progression into an also dull late game of killing the bland color-coded enemies over and over and over. This game is like a sandwich I often make at home. I mean, make my wife make at home for me in the kitchen. You have a top layer of bread representing the early game. You have the jerk chicken, obviously, being the mid game.
Delicious.
And the bottom piece of the bread, representing the end game. Now jerk that chicken out of the sandwich, and you are left with the world's worst sandwich and no Mickey. But Dr. Shibby, your analogies give me cancer. It's okay, viewer. My prognosis for you came back as positive, as you've already watched the T.U.G.S intro.
Zing.
Moving on.
Talk more about Hillary's emails.
I'll get to that. Moving on. This game is buggy. Arguably one of the most broken Xbox One releases ever, and is by Microsoft's own studio. How is that possible? Up to a 3-minute loading time when you either die or fast travel is just unacceptable in 2016. But Shibby, get good in KYS or something. Viewer, please. That is very difficult to do when the game literally spawns you through the world and die repeatedly. Microsoft showing this game at E3 2015 look amazing. As these press conferences showings, it's a goddamn trick. It always is. On release, the game looks like shit compared to the initial showing, on top of buggy and grinding content which you would never know from those delicately created E3 previews. For shame. Sean Murray. It's sad. The only positive thing I can say is at least they released this game at $40 instead of the man trying to suck your wallet for the $60 price tag. Oh my god. Overall, this game is a huge disappointment, and luckily PlayStation users can't suffer through it. A real red flag for Microsoft first-party titles, just like Hillary being drunk at the September 11th memorial ceremony. Should be criminal.
Oh no!
Zero out of 360. The console this game was actually developed for.
I like that one.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a good joke. Anyways, thanks, Jibs. Another pointless fucking week here on T.U.G.S. Maybe we should cancel this show after all. But before we get canceled for the 50th time, maybe check out our other videos over here so we can keep our jobs and you can keep wasting time. What are our videos?
Our podcast, we have...
A known gamer.
Known gamer, actual gamer, and T.U.G.S Award winner, Steven Septic.
Yeah, he did win an award.
Won the Best Game Channel Award for a channel that no longer exists.
That's how good it was. It was too good for this world.
The T.U.G.S kiss of death.
Who are we going to give it to this year to ruin their channel?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Leafy.
Yeah.
Weekly weird news. We got Harambe. We got Malachi Love Robinson. We got methed out racehorses.
Yeah, and not just Shibby.
Yeah.
It's a great weekly weird.
Yeah, also they're making a Harley Quinn movie. Get excited, DC fans.
Yeah, we made a mistake of covering movie news again, so go watch that so
Yeah.
it's not like a big pop mark on our videos tab.
Yeah.
It did really bad.
All right. Subscribe or something.